startup.
Hi, my name is Thomas Südbrücker and I like to learn and I like to share what I've learned. This is the reason why I created a blog. Here I share my experience in the cloud, AI and agents development area. And I also have a YouTube channel and you're currently watching a video. And the new video today will be about testing. Today we have the 21st of September, 4 p.m. Sunday. And I also released that blog post today. And I want to walk through that blog post a little bit more practical and give you all the steps how to see how that works, how you can use the watsonx Orchestrate Agent Development Kit evaluation framework, because it comes with an evaluation framework so that you can verify when your agent is built, how does the agent behave and make it reproducible, the behavior. So when you're going to do that. So that is normal, what you normally should do when you do some kind of development. So what I figured out in the AI area, sometimes it's more called experiments. So call it as you want, but you have to verify it. So that means here, so we go to, first of all, you develop, we evaluate, and we analyze, and for sure we improve. That is the normal life cycle for a lot of development, what you normally do. And the cool thing is if you have a framework out of the box. And especially also with agent, what the difference is with a normal interaction with a normal prompt. When you're working with normal prompts, you can just have a prompt, you send something and you get something back. But in the case with agents, you have the messages, maybe you have a conversation, and that is a little bit more. And with that, it gets a little bit more complex to reproduce that and set that up. So it's good that you have out of the box a framework for that, so that you do not have to care, first of all, so much about that. Okay, and with that, we go through the blog post. I use the same example application as I did before. The example application for creating a test case is the Galaxy Travels. You know it maybe from the last videos. Here you can plan your travels to the Galaxy. And here is the backend. So here we will get the available flights. That is what we will verify later on. And I provide here a GitHub. So that GitHub is also provided in the information. Where is it? A little bit when it goes to the setup.
Computer startup.
So here the setup. So here I provide you a basic structure to follow the entry so that you have a good organization when you walk through and you create some of the elements, and you can just do that. Okay, with that in mind, I give you the starting point where we are going to start today. We start not at the setup really from the travels. What I already did, I did also the setup of the ADK, and that is all running. So that is what we do not have to do. And if you want to do that and want to see how that works, you can watch another video I did. So I plan here to insert here a link. You can watch that in addition when you want to watch how the setup works. At the moment, we use what I use. What's new? It's the version 1.11 what I currently using on my local machine. So that maybe it depends on when you want watch that video. Maybe that is different. Yeah, and then we take a look what are the basic components what we will use in that example and how we going to move forward. So that is the evaluation. So what we will do, we first of all we will develop and test a tool. Yeah, a Python tool, we run that locally. We import the tool, we will import an agent which is predefined. Then we generate stories, that is what are our objectives or what we want to verify. And then we generate synthetic test cases so that we do not need to implement by our own. And then we run an evaluation of that for sure. Then we take a short look in the results. And that is all. So we start with the development tool. So to understand with the development tool is, first of all, I forgot, I have to insert here also what are the main components in that example. We have the CLI from Orchestrate. We use the Orchestrate development edition on a local machine on the server here. We have our application that is inside Compose, and we have the stories. Yeah, that will be a CSV file. We have a test case, one test case, not test cases. More test cases will be generated in JML file. We have an agent which is already provided. We will create a Python tool, and we will later have test results. And when we now going to implement in the first step the Python tool, we will test if the Python tool works. It will directly go to the local host over the local host connection directly into the Compose. That is a little bit about the network, because that is the reason that we need to define this URL a little bit differently when we work with the testing. So when you have everything running, outside with your examples, not inside the Compose, then the life is much easier. I make it a little bit more complicated from the networking perspective, but it works also. So let's move on. With that in mind, we start to create the folder structure for the tools and what we need later on. We need also a requirements file. I always provide here the steps to hopefully you can just copy and paste so that you have not too much effort with all of that stuff. So, and trying to avoid typos. Yeah. And let's see. So here, and I move that a bit here in that area. So I will create now, so that it should appear in that that folder. So now we see here. So that is what we did. We generated that. Currently that is empty, and now we move on. With all of that stuff, we can also see here that is also shown in the command line. What I did also, I show that mostly everything is the most of the things are done in the command line. Yeah. So, but I work in the Visual Studio Code environment, so I sometimes I will show it also in the Visual Studio Code. So I move up to the base directory so that we're always working from the directory of the watsonx Orchestrate ADK folder I created, and here I set nano, so that also maybe you could also only use the command line for also creating and editing the file. So that is not what we need at the moment, because we have that file here, so I can just copy and paste the content from here. So, and maybe that's now too big when I save that. I try to make it good readable, but sometimes if you make it too good readable, so you cannot read it. So then I make it a little bit shorter. So we can see that that is now the tool. We use here the watsonx Orchestrate library for the tools. Define a tool with a description, give permissions. So in here we have 2 flavors to access later on the backend system. So the backend system is here. So as you can see, it's running here. Yeah. So that is what we have here. Localhost, or maybe when we access it later on from inside the compose, so that we need to change that here. Okay, with that, we have that created. Let us move on. We can take a look at what we did. So now we will test in the first step it only from local, so that we run that tool as a local application. And with that, we just import here an output, so that we can now, as you can see, copy that. And we run it. Now we install also the needed request. So, and then it works. You can see it provides us the output and it works. Okay, with that, we know, okay, the tool itself works as a local application with the framework. So we can here make that, we comment that out, because we don't want that that will be executed during the execution inside the watsonx Orchestrate when it is used as a tool. Yeah, so that is the reason. And now, with that in mind, we can also create now we create and freeze the requirements. So, because that is also needed later on. Here now our requirements file is filled with the configuration. That will be an input for the tool when we're going to import the tool into the watsonx Orchestrate. So now I will change here, because later on when we will access the tool, when we access with the tool, the backend system, we are no longer outside. Then we are inside the watsonx Orchestrate, and then everything is as you remember. Here, when we go here, then it's inside here. So that means when we are going inside here later on, when that is imported, then we need also, or we set up also a connection that you can see that. Then we're going to use the booking domain. Yeah, so what we have for that, for the service information, and we can directly access here the container. Yeah, so that is defined inside the Docker Compose file. So that's the different. So with that, we can move on, and we going here to import that. So as you can see, everything is here provided to you just to have a copy and paste. So we have the output. Then we know that we need to change that. I did need it also to do. Yeah, not only to show, we need also to save it. So then, otherwise we will notice we cannot access the backend system. So, and then we going to specify here that the imported tool will be a Python tool, because maybe you have seen there are several other types of tools you can import. Yeah. And then we will also use the requirements file, and with that we just copy and paste everything what's here for the import. And it is imported. So let us see. Here is it. Yeah. So we have one tool. And we have also one agent, but that is the agent which is also already given by Orchestrate. So I didn't server reset before, so that we have really a clean starting point. So now we have here the tool. Okay, cool. We have the tool. And the next is what we are going to set up. We add a connection. And the connection is of providing the information how to access information outside, so that really to ensure what is available to access, yeah, for systems, so that everyone can connect to external system and have valid connection information, also especially with the authentication options. And then we set that up, and we just take a look at that. So let's see here. So I make a clear so that we do that. And now we're going to create here a connection inside watsonx Orchestrate. So now the connection was generated. Yeah, we give that an ID. And the next is that we will provide the information that that connection really, also because it will be inside, yeah. Otherwise, we would see that we have connection problems. And then we go here to set up that with the booking system. You can see here that is, I commented out that here we use the draft environment. We say that a type is for the team, everyone can use it, and that is for basic authentication. And the good thing is, at the moment, we do not have any authentication here. So, but the good thing with base authentication is, even if you define it, it has a base authentication, and if you invoke something and the server does not utilize it, so it still works. So it's no problem. So we can just define that even if you do not need it. So, and now that is created. But when we need here to define a kind of authentication, that is a must, that must be defined. And with that, we need also define here what are the properties for all of that, and then we define here the connection, we set the credentials. So make that a little bit clear. So you can see admin, then we will not use it. Yeah. Okay, that's done. So then we have imported that. Yeah. So now we here, and the next is now we will create a new agent. And for the agent, I have also predefined YAML configuration. So let's see if that works. Yeah, with the copy and paste. Here I also create now a new folder. That was a folder for the tools, and now we create a new folder for the agent. So now we can see here that is the agent. At the moment that is empty. And now we can directly copy and paste. So copy, paste. Works. Good. Very good. And now with that, we see that. Okay. Now we can import it. Now we go to the folder. And it is in. Let us see, do we have now two? So we have now two agents. And the agent has also a tool. Yeah. And we can check that, if that works. Yeah, it was a reasoning. And it provides us the information. So that worked good. So now we should be in the condition to define the next steps. So what we have done now, we go here. We have also imported the agent, and as we can see, everything what we have configured is working. And now we're going to generate the test cases. So, and when we're going to generate the test cases, maybe we will get a feature. Let us see, and then I show you what I changed so that that it still will work. First of all, we're going to we need to go back, so that is in the folder structures. You can see here. That is the folder structure I let you create here. Yeah, so that is, we have here the agents, the tools. Yeah, here we are going to work, and later on we have the evaluation. And now we can also show the agents in the list. That is what is currently here given. But we have also verified it also inside the tool. And now, as I said, now we are going to start with the evaluation and then with the setup with stories. So let me see here, clear. And now we are going to set up a new infrastructure, or not infrastructure, a new folder. You can see here. That is with the evaluations. And we have also created a file called stories. And now we insert some content in the story file. Yeah. And let us take a look in the content, and that is what is here created. We have the story and the agent. So that is the goal we want to achieve. And what the interesting part is, at the beginning, I didn't write it detailed enough. It is really a story what you are going to do, and the test case is really working on that to achieve the goals, and that is very good. So that you can see what you can do for me if there will be created different kind of test cases for that objective, how to achieve that. Okay, with that, I say here already that you should change inside the tool. Let us try that. Inside the tool, here, the URL, because during the creation, we have also here the tool path and the stories, and so will also created with the information of the tool what we have here. Yeah, so with the tool path input. So that is good to know. Let us go up here. Let us clear up. So with that, we're going to export. Always the same. We have the different parameters. What you can see here. That is bad with the copy and paste. I need to verify here. Maybe something changed that space. Maybe that space was here inserted. Okay, and let's try out if that works. So we give as an input the story path, the path of the tool, and then we will generate the test cases. So let's see if that works. Yeah, it seems it works. You can see it generates now inside the evaluation. Yeah, it generates a test case. We have also the tool works. You can see it uses for the generation here the local tool. So if we would have the compose configuration, it would not be able to access the backend with the network. So that is what is important to know. So moving on, takes a little bit. It does it for us. If we have the first test case, we can already take a look at the test case. So we can see here with can move on. We have here test case and the test case. So we see the agent and we have the story. What can you do for me? And starting sentence for that, I'd like to know what flights are available. So that is interesting. So the goal is to summarize, yeah. And then we have goals, have a tool call, tool name, the name, Mars and more. And it says, okay, what it expects, which kind of summarize response. We are available flights, and the flights are listed, so some keywords, and that is with the story. Okay, so with all of that, we have that. Now we did that. We have generated now the story. And now we also did the verification of the test cases. And now we see here the new outline of the folder structure. That is also what we did. And now we're going to start the evaluation. And with the evaluation, then we will use here inside tool, which is inside the agent. Yeah, so because now we will access that. And with that, now when we see that, we're going to generate also a new folder. It's called test results. So we have also here inside the evaluations, we have that here, and we created the test result. I provide some environment variables to make it easy just to define, okay, what we need. And we only want, at the moment, to execute one test case. So I don't want to execute all of the test cases, just have one. And then we just execute it. Yeah, we do an evaluation. And we just do that, but you can also try, in addition, another one. And now let's see if that works with the configuration and if you have the connection already set up, or if there is any confusion with the connection to the backend system. So let's see if that works. So now it's starting to evaluating the task. Yeah, it works. So we see here tool call, it works. Yeah, cool. Was easy. Yeah, we see the results. Yeah, we see the success, the match, the text matched. Yeah, cool. And yeah, and we get here also here the steps which were done and the total tool calls. We see 2 LLM steps. Yeah, but the journey wasn't success. It took close to 10 seconds for the execution. So yeah, that is what it takes. The setup and the exchange with more steps, and even though that is also on the local machine, yeah, it takes time to run test. And that is also the reason everyone says, yeah, I like to test. It takes time. Oh, it costs money. Oh no, I don't want to test. So that is just from my experience. Everyone wants quality, but nobody wants to pay for the quality. Or maybe not to pay means only it also to invest time to do that. Okay, so, and with that, yeah, we take a look also what is generated. Yeah, so now we can also take a look in what is generated. So here, that is with the analyze. So it's good that we have all the information here. Conversational data, the assistant. Yeah, so we can see with that what it means. Yeah, we have was yeah, here 4 steps, total steps, 1, 2, 3, 4, and that is the user. Then we have the assistant. Then we have once again the assistant, and then the assistant again. So 4 steps, and then but it was here LLM steps. So that does not mean that the output of the information of the assistant must be in the interaction of an LLM. Yeah. And what we also can do in addition, the hidden champion. So we have also here in Langgraph, sorry. It's not about we're using here Langfuse, and we can take a look at the tracing, yeah, Langgraph tracing, and then we can see, okay, what was invoked. That is in addition what we can do. Can see the agent, can see the tool was invoked, yeah, and we can see what was returned. And we can also see here the question I'd like to, yeah. So that is also good there if you run that in addition, yeah, to have an additional point of view to that kind of result. And when we take a look at the prediction and recall, so that is that is also with the accuracy. So we have one call, yeah, and one verification. So that makes no sense. It's only then if you have more validation points, and then it makes sense to do that and take a look at that. Okay, and everything here was out of the box, and that is what I wanted to show you. That is great. What I think, and I do not know. Yeah, how long it really was. I guess it was 40 minutes on my side. Oh, yeah, but I guess I will have some some minutes I can reduce. Yeah, with some cutting, with some space where I don't talk. Yeah, and so on. And I can say, yeah, with all of that, thanks for watching. Yeah, I hope it was useful for you. And I like testing, I like the verification, and I like if somebody, and here especially here, the watsonx Orchestrate environment gives the ability out of the box to have a kind of an evaluation framework. So, and there is even more. So we just started, yeah, with the evaluation topic. So here, when we say here, there are more topics you can cover. And yeah, but I think that was a good starting point, and it is very easy to follow. Yeah, from my perspective, it is really just to read what we have done. We developed, we test, yeah, the tool a little bit. Take a look at the networking topic. That was, yeah, my fault about setting up it a little bit more complex with the compose, and then import the tool and import an agent. Yeah. We generate the stories, and then we generated synthetic test cases, and we run the evaluation. And I say again, thanks for watching. And if you have an idea, maybe I should create a video about, post it in the comment, yeah, or commented it, like it if you like it. If you want to have some more videos like that, I will create accidentally, so I do not know what I will create the next time, when I will create it the next time, when I have time to that. And if that all fits, maybe I will create a video for you. And I wish you a nice day whenever you watched that video. Bye. Thomas.